the fun stuff. We have a really interesting show. We are marching quickly toward 500 subs over on the YouTube channel. So let's see how
A
fast we
lot
can
of
get there.
calories.
I would like to get there by the end of the year. That's my goal. Let's get to
Mm.
500 subs. So if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get notifications. Then you know when we go live. So you can come yell at us in the chat. We always like when people yell at us in the chat.
I love it.
I do too. So, you can use Prime subs on the stream if you are in Twitch and give us Amazon's money, right? You don't get to spend your own money, right? If you have Amazon Prime, which most of you do, you
Yeah.
get a free Prime sub. And so then you could just give us Amazon's money. Okay? And I personally would like some of my money back from Amazon.
Mm. Yeah.
Probably. They've taken too much of my money so far. So, with that, we're going to jump right into it. So, our first topic this week, Ke Huy Quan, who I absolutely adore, who you may remember from things like The Goonies and Indiana Jones and The Temple of Doom, and he won an Academy Award for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a great movie. He has a new action film coming out next year. And it's got an interesting Seattle connection. In that, in a what appears to be a prominent role in the thing, we have Marshawn Lynch,
Nice.
Super Bowl winning running back for the Seattle Seahawks, is going to be in the film. It looks like as one of the antagonists. He's got a couple of really fun lines. Jay, you had a chance to watch the trailer. What did you think of the trailer, first off? And are you kind of excited about this one?
Yeah. It looks like a good movie. It looks like a fun movie. I think I would definitely go see it. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I like you said, great movies. Indiana Jones, loved him in Indiana Jones. Even though obviously he was the little kid. But no, yeah, it looks cute. It's coming out, I want to say like what, a week before Valentine's Day, so it's kind of like that Valentine's Day movie.
Yep.
It's called Love Hurts, right?
Love Hurts. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, he plays a real estate agent who apparently is a retired assassin, is what I kind of gather from
yeah.
the trailer. It doesn't give away too much. There's something. His brother is a bad guy. But I really think that it looks like a good flick. I like these kind of movies because, good action comedies are so hard to do. Because they either come off really cheesy, right? Or just not well put together. The choreography in the trailer looked really, really solid, right? I immediately bought him as as a kung fu like master guy. It looks really solid. And again, seeing Marshawn in there, I giggled heavily when I saw him pop up in the trailer. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, he's pushing into acting. And this is not his first role.
Really?
No, so, and that's actually kind of something interesting. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. He did a movie with his sister.
Okay.
So, and he talked about it in an interview. It's called, I want to say it's called Bottoms. Right? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
He did it for his sister. And the reason he did it was she had come out as a lesbian, I believe. Right?
Okay.
And he talks about it in one of his interviews where when she first came out, he says it very openly. He's like, I did not handle it well. He's like, I didn't do well with it. And so he did this film, which is kind of like a lesbian coming of age story. Right? in a lot of ways. Um, and so he did it. Yeah. He ended up taking the role as a way to rewrite his regret of mishandling his younger sister coming out to him in high school, right? Where he
Wow.
was like, yeah, I screwed that up. And here's the thing, I actually think it takes a lot of guts to admit that you screwed something like that up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you I think that that's really open. Again, I encourage people to go watch interviews with him.
Mm.
He's a really really smart guy, and also a partial owner in the Kraken now.
What? The Krakens? Like the Seattle
The
Krakens?
Seattle Kraken. He bought a minority stake in the Kraken, and again, there was a really good interview with him where he was talking about when they came to him. They were like, "So sports ownership, Seattle," and he's like, "We were having dinner. They said sports ownership in Seattle." He said, "I said say less." You know, he's not from here originally. He's from Oakland, California. But when he came up here, in fact, there was another interview I saw with him this week, kept popping up on my TikTok, where he was meeting with the seismographers who were showing him the seismographs from the Beastquake, and he's like, "You can't fake that love from this city." He's like, "This city embraced me the second I got traded here from Buffalo." He's like, "And I have never felt anything but love from the city of Seattle, and not what he was expecting." When he came
Yeah.
to the Pacific Northwest. You know, so yeah, I I think it looks like a fun little action film. I think they're a little early on the trailer because yeah, they're like 6 months away, 5 months away.
Yeah.
So it's a little early for the trailer. Um, but this one's definitely worth my AMC A-list ticket for the week, at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the great thing about that is that you get three quote unquote free three. And this is not a paid advertisement at all.
We're
Uh
hashtag not a sponsor, but if AMC wanted to sponsor us, we would.
I would do it, yeah.
I mean, I think we would be better than that Nicole Kidman ad you run before
Yeah.
every single movie. Okay, I'm done with the Nicole Kidman. We've seen it. Also, to quote one of my favorite YouTubers, okay, why are you advertising the place that I'm already in?
That's true. Yeah, that is so true.
I'm already here, AMC. You don't have to convince me to come.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Yeah.
I'm here. Let's rock and roll.
That
Uh,
is a really good point.
So, yes, definitely worth one of my AMC tickets for the week. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I'm glad Ke Huy Quan has made a resurgence into acting. I don't. Did you see Loki season 2?
Oh yeah.
He was
And
so good in Loki
he
season 2.
he was so funny in that. Oh my
He
god.
was perfect for that role.
Oh
And
yeah.
him bouncing off Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. I am a big fan of his work. Like I said, it's nice to see him. He took a long break from acting
Yeah,
before
it seems
going
like it.
back, like 20 plus years, because he did Encino Man in the 90s
Hmm.
as a teenager, and then kind of stopped. And he did a lot of behind the camera stuff, but that was it. And then he was like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna go back to acting." It's really worked out for him. So
Yeah.
let us know what you think down in the comments. Tell us, watch the trailer. Let us know what you think. Do you think this looks like as much fun as we think it looks like? Let us know down in the comments below. All right. What's next? Oh, this one's all you, Jay. This
Yes.
one's this one's all you. Uh, Jay, what's our second topic tonight?
Gundams.
Gundams.
And that is what my wife calls any sort of giant robot. Is that a Gundam? She'll look at a transformer and say, "Look, it's a Gundam." And I have to explain to her every single time that no, that's not a Gundam. But anyways, so yeah, growing up, I watched animes like Ghost in the Shell, Outlaw Star, Inuyasha. I think my first anime ever was Dragon Ball Z. Probably the first anime for the majority of anime
For
lovers.
many of them, yeah.
Yeah. But there was one anime that I think like really captivated me, and that was Gundam. I remember as a kid like watching Gundam and just being like so obsessed. And I would sit down and actually draw out like how would someone go about making a real life Gundam. And even though like I didn't really kind of put it together at that moment, I think that's when kind of like the engineer in me was kind of born, was through the want of having giant space battles with like giant robots, right? I mean, it's so epic. It's so awesome. And then obviously, of course, the Netflix show has recently come out. If you haven't checked that out, I will admit the trailer to me didn't seem that good. And I'm not a huge fan of like the
That's
kind
kind of
of the
par for the course for Netflix.
yeah,
We,
that
we
is
we do
true.
crappy trailers and we don't advertise anything.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that show came out. What is this show? Like, that's like Netflix's
Yeah.
thing.
I don't understand that. Like, why half the things on Netflix they don't even have a trailer? Is it just because like they know they suck at making trailers, so they're like, we're not even gonna have a trailer? Just
Um,
watch it.
I we could probably build an entire topic about the business plan of Netflix
Oh
and what
gosh.
their stated goals are within the film and television industry, and kind of the good and bad that
Mhm.
they have done for film and television over the years. But that's probably a separate topic. Keep talking about what got this on your radar this week.
Yeah. So I watched all of the show, the new Gundam show. I
Mm-hmm.
did like it. But then the algorithm in general, the algorithm that controls our lives kicked in, and I
It
got
pushed
I got
something
an
to you.
ad.
Yeah.
It pushed something, and it said announcement collab Gundam, exciting. I'm very excited. What is the collab? What's going on? And then it was an announcement for a collab with Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Uh, yeah, it is a epic Gundam crossover, is what comicbook.com is calling it. The Vocaloid, for those that don't know, Hatsune Miku's not really real.
Oh, she's very real to some people
So
out
some
there.
people,
I
she's
You
a
just offended a lot of
she's like a
people.
VTuber. Like, it's
She,
interesting. You got to go do that. But yeah, Hatsune Miku, Mobile Suit Gundam is teaming up with Hatsune Miku for a Gundam Metaverse project. Let me pull this up for people to look at because it's a thing.
but why? Why is it a thing?
Because Hatsune Miku is really popular. We
Uh,
used to sell a bunch of her figures in the store. In addition to the fact that we sold Gunpla, right? So we sold Gundams, right?
yeah.
Um, yeah. She's really popular. I mean, that's really it. It's a metaverse concert. The anime franchise turns 45 in 2024. And so Hatsune Miku agreed to help ring in the big birthday for Gundam with a special concert and merch. Um, she has collabed with a lot of people, too, including Magic the Gathering, who has done secret layers
No,
of Hatsune Miku.
no, she hasn't just done a secret layer drop. She's done three secret layer drops. Like yes, I did. I love secret layer. I just got my last secret layer in from this one because I have a blue green deck. Love these cards. Um, I did. I bought the first drop. I bought the second drop. And then the third drop, I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to support this. Why are there so many drops?
Um, again, she's really popular, right? Why
Uh,
Schwartz cards have done multiple Hatsune Miku sets. She's that popular of a character in the anime community. Um, and we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of anime in general later on in the show, so stick around for that, or check out the other video when we release it on YouTube. Um, I wish I could say I was surprised, but this is very par for the course for Japan, right? There has always been a deep tie between pop stars and anime, right? Which is how you end up with so many iconic like theme songs to anime television shows. Is it's which pop star is big that year, and I mean Japan runs through pop stars faster than we do, right? Like they'll get mega famous and then be gone in a couple of years, But it's. I wish I could say this surprised me, But when you were like,
Mm.
they're doing this, I was like, yeah, that tracks. It does. Um,
Yeah.
so it's on December 5th at 11 o'clock, and then they're doing a second one on the 9th. Um, are you gonna
And it
watch it, Jay?
I don't know. I really don't want to. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to do one. It's going to go really, really well. And they already have a second one, evidently. That's going to go really, really well. And the next thing you know, for like the next 4 weeks, all of December is just going to be a Gundam concert every single week because they're just printing money. That's what it is. I mean, if you have 3 secret layer drops, I want to say what, like 3 or 4 months in between.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're just printing money. And I get it from a business point of view. Like, yeah, print the money, but like not not when it comes to, I don't know.
You want to
Like,
keep your Gundam pure.
yeah, it's I think it's cute. I do think it's cute that it's like a concert. Because at first, like, we didn't have any sort of like news. It was just like, hey, coming soon, some sort of collab. And I was like, what? But so it's kind of cute that it's a concert. But I think there's like when you start just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like I said, I bought the first 2 drops, Secret Layer. Thought it was cool, but then I saw the third drop and I was like, "Oh
What?
my gosh, we're just going to keep doing this. If people keep buying it, it's just going to keep happening."
And now it's Gundam.
Yep.
Congratulations, Mobile Suit Gundam.
Now, I might, depending on what the merch looks like, I might buy the merch because I'm a sucker for merch. I might buy the
And it's very popular. Again, it's Hatsune Miku, man. It's super, super popular. We sold so many of those figures. We sold Hatsune Miku stickers and Hatsune Miku everything. Again, it doesn't surprise me. I wish I
Yeah.
could say it did, but it really, really doesn't. Um, I'm sorry, man.
It's just weird. Like
It's
she is like everywhere. I have a coworker of mine. They went to, where did they go? She actually performed at a concert. It wasn't Burning Man, but it was something very similar to Burning Man. And I think like a hologram of her came out.
yep,
Um so I mean, yeah, people are diehard fans of her. I think I even read where one fan like married her in Japan or something.
yeah. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
Um, which, like, honestly, that's good. Like, we should all find the thing that we really, really enjoy and love in life. Mine's giant robots, without holographic pop singers, I guess. But to each their own, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope people get joy out of it. Like, I
Yeah.
hope people get joy out of it. All right. Well, let us know, chat. Let us know down in the comments what you all think about the Hatsune Miku X Gundam crossover event. It's coming. There's going to be a concert in December. I'm sure it will be very, very silly. So let us know what you think down in the comments below. We really want to know what you think. All right. By the way, chat, now that there's a few of you in here, if you have any questions, if you saw anything in pop culture or politics or news or anything like that that you want us to talk about on the show, drop it in the chat. We will drop it at the end of the rundown and take a look and see if we can talk about it a little bit toward the end of the show. What's going on, Ishnatal? Nice to see you again. Yeah, so like I said, if you've seen anything in the news, politics, sports, entertainment, movies, streaming, video games, we like everything, right? Actually, this would be kind of a fun thing to talk about. So when Jay and I were kind of redoing this and kind of rebuilding the show, one of the things we talked about is we mostly, for the most part, want to keep it positive, right? You can, I don't do hate clicks, right? Hate clicks annoy me, you know. So expect this channel to be generally a positive pace. Occasionally, we're going to talk about things that irk us, but
Yeah.
ultimately, like, we're all fans, and we like stuff. It's neat. Um,
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that, like at my heart, I'm a collector. I spend way too much money on Comic Con every year, the
mhm,
Seattle Comic Con. I go to the comic book store almost every week, buy new comic books, keep them, get them autographed and sent off for grading at Comic Con. I have Funko Pops autographed. I have like an entire wall of like autographs. I collect things, and I
mhm.
think I think that's like the thing that kind of has irked me recently about Magic the Gathering in general is just the onslaught of what I think is like they're out there to like milk the cow, if you will. Like they're just printing money. They're not doing it for the fans that enjoy the community. They're just out there like, oh yeah, sure. You know what?
And
Let's give this hologram girl another drop.
and
Like,
I think we can talk about that more in definitely a very business related segment. But that is a good segue into our next segment. So this week they announced uh, the first release for the Marvel and Magic the Gathering crossover that was announced back in 2023. This is just the first series of products that are coming. We know, I think next year they're doing a full set release for Marvel.
Mm.
I actually think it's World of Spider-Man. Um, so
Interesting.
that's coming next year. But we wanted to chat because they did a full release as to what's coming in the secret layer. So let's talk about that for it. So it's coming out in multiple sets. So you buy each set individually. The first set we're going to talk about today is the Black Panther set. It's a green white. That's actually really cheap for a commander. It's just a green and a white. Whenever he enters or another creature enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target land. Then for 3 land, you move all the 1/1 counters from a target land to a creature. So he's gonna generate creatures. This is another good one. This one I almost want this one just so I can put it in my Jetmir deck. Create X white 1/1 white warrior creature tokens for 1 white plus X. I mean that's good. This one's really fun. Uh, it's a token doubler. And then permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of the turn. This is a reprint, but the art I have to give them. Right now, you've just mentioned you're a comic fan. This
Mhm.
art is solid,
I do like it.
right? Um, and then also in that set you get a Wakandan skyscraper, which is 1 colorless mana, and then for 4 and a thing you can proliferate. And then that's the token that they're using for the warrior token card, which again looks really solid. Next up. Oh, by the way, the price on each one of these for the non-foils are $40. For the rainbow foils, they're 50. This one's our obvious Tron. We got Captain America, and he's red, white, and blue. Because of course he is. Um, he allows you to unattach equipment and basically yeet that equipment at your opponents and then bring it back to them. So it fits. Combine that with the Excalibur sword from Assassin's Creed, and that's just a 12 mana drop. That's pretty beefy. Or an equipment come in as flash for a single white. That's pretty solid. Um, creatures you control gain indestructible. +1/+1, and then of course his shield, the Shield of War and Peace, which is a offshoot of the Sword of War and Peace. It's a +2/+2 and has protection from white, and then it deals damage equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain a life for each card in your hand, which is pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad, and it's only 3 mana. So again, so that's what comes with that one. Then we get Iron Man,
Mm.
right? He has flying and haste, which is nice. He's a blue-red, and he creates treasure tokens. This is my favorite part, and the reason I'm thinking about buying this one is that soul ring. I like that soul ring. That commander's plate is also pretty good too. right? Equip gets +2/+3 and protects from every color that's not your commander's color. Yeah, see, even chat saying that's cool Soul Ring art. Like, I kind of want the Iron Man one just for those two right there. He gets a legendary land, add a colorless. If you control 3 or more artifacts, gain a life. Yeah, I kind of want this one. And I also like the treasure token, which I think is pretty solid. This is the one that had a lot of people excited from the competitive side, is Storm. Flying Vigilance, and then whenever Storm deals combat damage to the player, the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn has Storm. When you cast a copy for each spell cast before it this turn, you may choose new targets for the copies. She comes with Lightning Bolt. Jay, you said you really liked that Lightning Bolt art.
I just think it's awesome art. I am a sucker for good art. I will buy a comic book just for like the cover art. Like,
yeah.
100%. So I do love that art. Yeah.
Storm's Will. Add red mana for each card in a target opponent's hand. Exile top 3. You can play them this turn. And then we all love land destruction. That makes everybody happy. Destroy target land. And then Aurora Borealis, which is Manamorphose. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors and draw a card. This one would make a really good, like, sorcery deck. Spellslinger. And then finally, last but certainly not least, Wolverine. Wolverine. He's a mutant berserker hero. See, he's not human, which would make him be better. He doubles all damage he would deal. At the end of each end step, if he dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a 1/1 counter on him. He could get beefy fast. And then for 1 and a green, you regenerate him. If he takes damage, next time he would be destroyed, tap him, remove him from combat, and heal all damage. Which is ridiculous. Berserk. Cast a spell before the combat damage step. They gain trample. And then this one, whatever creature controls deal damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. That's neat. This one's kind of cool if you're running creature decks. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. And then this is the other one that I thought was good. It's a reprint of the Ozolith. Whenever a creature you control leaves the batters, you take the counters off of it, put it on the bonding tank, and then you can put all the counters at the beginning of combat. Chat saying no Deadpool, missed opportunity. I'm hoping we get that in the next release.
Yeah, I could totally see the next release being Deadpool.
And are they hiding them behind Secret Lair? Yes, this first release is a Secret Lair exclusive. If you spend $200 or more,
only $200.
Only $200. You get an Arcane Signet, but you get Earth's Mightiest Emblem as Arcane Signet. So it's add 1 mana of any color. So it's Arcane Signet. It's a reprint. But it's the Avengers Tower as Arcane Signet, which is, again, it's great art. Right? Not worth it for that. I think it's really, and Chad's saying it's not worth it for that. I think it's really for the people who just go ham and buy all 4 or 5. Because if you buy all of them, you're going to get this, basically. If you buy all of the ones. The only question that I don't know, because the last sets of Secret Lairs, so a couple years ago they announced that Secret Lairs weren't going to be print on demand, that they were going to do limited stuff. My advice to Magic, you better make this just unlimited, right? You better not limit the supply of this, because you guys are terrible about handling scalpers. And these things are going to fly for the scalpers, right? They're just going to fly, and you're not going to be able to get these cards. So if I was Magic, I would say, look, as long as, if you can buy them in the first 2 weeks, you can just buy them, right? We all know the Magic secondary market is a freaking zoo. This is going to be a really bad zoo. Dear God, do not make these limited, Like, make them limited insofar as you've got a limited period of time to buy them. But if you guys go, look, we're only selling however many of these and then they're gone, like, nobody's going to get them, you know? And quite frankly, your reputation right now is not super great, Wizards.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
You have thoughts.
no, it's just I'm just remembering like the what was that like art scandal? I think it happened last year, where they altered the art just slightly so they wouldn't have to pay the artists on cards that they God, kind of like locked away. They said they weren't going to make any more
Mm-hmm.
of, but then they like didn't they like tweak the art just slightly and then
Something like that.
re-release them?
I
Yeah,
don't remember. It's one of look, if Wizards doesn't have a scandal every 4 months, they're behind
oh
they're
god.
behind the run. Okay, like
Yeah.
legit, like it's just kind of what Wizards does. Um, yeah. Again, I think some of these are going to go really fast. Um, I'm going to
You
be
know,
curious to see what some of these are worth on the secondary market after they drop.
you know what would be really interesting to do though is if we were able to get our hands every now and then on some secret layers that are
Mm-hmm.
really cool like these, then maybe do a little giveaway for some of our fans that
That
joins us.
that would be a lot of fun. Trying to see if they're already up on the secret layer. It's pre-sale on TCG Player, and they're not showing pricing data on it yet. I'm going to be curious what these go for. Weren't they caught using AI art in promotional? They were caught using AI art in published materials, not promotional materials, published materials, and they had to do a whole big walk back on it, and it was in D&D specifically. Um, Theoretically, in their contracts, Wizards says that artists who work for them are not allowed to use AI at any stage of the development process. Full stop. This has been a consistent problem for Wizards because first off, they got caught doing it, and then a bunch of pseudo internet sleuths on Twitter thought there was some AI art, and they ended up like smearing an artist, and he ended up having to go through and go, here is all of the development drawings I go through when I send them to Wizards to prove that it wasn't AI because they thought they spotted AI. It's a really crappy situation. Wizards has said that again, it's a violation of their contracts to use AI art in any of their projects for either Magic or Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just the first one of them. Again, they're going to do a wide release. Here's the other question that I have for Jay, though, and this was something somebody brought up to me the other day on this one, is there was, and I'd be curious to know what chat thinks too. Somebody has brought it to me like some stuff just doesn't fit in Magic, right? Like Lord of the Rings is all high sorcery and fantasy and da 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 da, so it fits.
Yep.
But then you get stuff like
Jurassic Park.
Marvel, right? Like,
Yeah.
does that fit in Magic the Gathering? Or and again, putting aside the business side of it, because we all know why they're doing it, but like, do you think it fits?
Ooh, I think you could get some of it to fit. I think like for instance, like the Scarlet Witch definitely fits. Captain America, Iron Man though, I would say probably not so much out of those characters, but I don't know.
Like, just thematically. Or is it
Yeah.
more palatable to you because you are a comic book fan and they'll do all kinds of weird genre swapping and up and down and things like that?
No, That's a really good point. So yeah, I think they are kind of going after the fact that I love comic books. So I see stuff like this and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's really
Well, and you
amazing. I want
mentioned
to
in our
like go
last
get it.
segment that you're a collector.
Yeah.
Does this scratching at that, is this itching that collector part of your brain?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that the storm one, the last one that you showed, like
Yep.
yes, I do like I think that would be so sick to have. Um because like okay, so let me break this down. Um so the last secret lair when I bought this set right here, uh this fits in my deck. I bought these cards specifically to use them in my Magic deck. If I buy the Storm Secret Lair drop, it's not going in my deck. I do not have a deck where that makes sense. I'm literally just collecting at that point. Um, which I've been a huge Pokemon collector my entire life, so I love collecting cards, but it's not practical to actually play with. Like it's you're just collecting things because it looks cool because I like Marvel comics.
Yeah. Um, as far as thematically, chat's bringing up Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which is a very obviously they had Mecha and stuff like that, and Teferi, who was a time traveler, and then they had Streets of Ducapenna, which they were like mafia but also demons and like gang like monsters. Um, and then recently they did Outlaws at Thunder Junction, which was a Western theme set, and then they did Duskborn, which is like 80s slasher horror.
Mm.
You know, themes. Um, Ravnica, big city is what chat's bringing up too. I think again, putting aside the business stuff, I can see why people, and I've had a lot of friends who are getting annoyed at all the like outside IP that they're bringing in, right?
Yeah.
Like at least Kamigawa is theirs, Outlaws is
Mhm.
theirs, but
Mhm.
Marvel, Assassin's Creed, Lord of the Rings, what other ones have they done? Hatsune Miku, as we talked about in our last segment, right? A
Yeah.
lot of these, like, are they just Warhammer 40K? You know, are they just cash grabs? You know, obviously, Marvel is one of the most valuable brands on the planet. You know,
Yeah. But I think it's gonna hit like a breaking point where you're going to burn people out like Funko Pops. I think it's gonna take a little bit longer because I think the issue that Funko ran into
is they have no
was
practical use at all.
well, they don't have any practical use at all, but people run out of space to put Funko Pops after a while.
I don't want to talk about space to store cards right now. It makes me sad. I have too many cards right now.
Well, that's an entirely different subject because you had a game store. So
Yes.
like,
Uh,
yeah,
uh, I guess. I guess my thing is again. Yeah, I see your thing with Funko, but again, at least when they're coming out with these, they're trying to make useful cards.
yeah. I mean, that's true,
You know,
but
and stuff that you can actually use in a commander deck. Chat Magic the Gathering, Smash Brothers.
nice. I here like as a I'm a very like casual Magic player.
Me too.
Um, I'm not gonna go to like a tournament. I like when I play. Obviously, I like to win. I play to win. Um, I'm always looking at like ways to like better my deck, my like
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote competitive deck, if you will. But like, I don't want to like if I was a competitive player, if I was someone that was going to go out to tournaments and really try to, I don't know, get all the gym badges, if you will. Um, I would get really annoyed with all like the new mechanics being released all the time. Like,
Oh, and
I mean,
I have people I talk to who are talking about that being a problem. Somebody in the chat is saying all those franchises coming to MTG dilutes the lore of Magic. I think that's what a lot of people are worried about. Um, And then somebody said, like, if I want to play Final Fantasy characters, I'll play the Final Fantasy TCG. Didn't they do a Final Fantasy Secret Lair? I could have sworn
Did they?
no, there's one that's coming. Oh,
Oh, okay.
shoot. Yes. Hang on. There is. It's coming. When is it coming? 25 next year. Yes, they are doing a Universes Beyond set next year for Final Fantasy.
Oh God.
Yep. And it will include cards up through Final Fantasy 16. So
Ugh.
you know Cloud and Sephiroth are going to be commanders.
Yeah.
Big sigh. Somebody in the chat saying big sigh. I'm torn on it. Again, you got to give Magic credit for staying as relevant as they are
Yeah.
for as long as they have. To keep a game going this long is beyond challenging. Right? And again, you gotta kind of give them credit. They've managed to hold out for a long time.
Yeah. I think you did bring up like we're supposed to be a very, cheerful, happy kind of show. So I am so happy that we always get new secret layer drops every single month and
we
and
don't
new
we don't
commander
have to
decks
go
all the
that
time.
far. We don't have to go
I
that far.
I'm so happy.
I
Wizard, you know what would be great is if like in the
I said
month of
happy, not
December,
shill.
in the month of December, you should just launch a new secret layer every week for Christmas, like just count down
Just
Christmas.
like one for the 12 days of Christmas, like every single day, brand new secret layer. Watch
Oh
this.
my
They're gonna
god.
do that now. They're absolutely gonna do that at some
No.
point. It's gonna be great.
Oh,
Uh
I
if you're watching
uh,
this later, let us know down in the comments what you think. Are you planning on buying the Marvel Secret Layer drop? Does this interest you in the least bit? Do you think it's just a giant cash grab?
it's 100% a cash grab.
Are they the devil? Let us know what you think. Okay, new Secret Lair, $300 MTG Advent Calendar. Oh my God, yep. I'm surprised they have not done that with a pack a day. Jeez.
Actually, yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks, and yeah, let us know what you think. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back through our rundown. One pack a day, one card a day. I'll tell you what. I don't think it would sell at one card a day, but I guarantee you, you could do two versions. You could do one with a play booster set every single day, and you could probably sell that for, so there's 24 days leading up in an advent calendar. Call it $3 a pack. 350 because it's on discount. Like, I mean, you could probably sell that for $69.99 and motherfuckers would buy it. And then do a collector booster version that's all collector boosters and sell it for like $250 with some promos in there that are only gettable through that chase cards.
We on a serious note, we really need to stop giving them ideas because Comic-Con is coming up and I need to not be broke for Comic-Con,
You got like 5 months until Comic-Con.
Yeah, well, not in December. In December, it's going to be like 3 months until like Comic-Con. So
True. That's
yeah,
very, very true. All right. Well, let's jump into our next topic. Jay, take it away.
Okay. So, keeping with the fact that we're trying to be a happy, positive show, we all remember the movie Blade Runner 2049, correct?
Great. Denis Villeneuve's stunning follow-up.
Yep. Good news is that the producers is suing Elon Musk. See, that's a happy topic, right?
It is. Anytime anybody's going after Elon, it's a happy day.
So they're actually going after Elon, Tesla, and Warner Brothers for copyright infringement. They're stating that Elon used AI-generated imaging resembling a scene from the movie to market Tesla's new robo taxi. Um, Now they're saying that the producers refused all permissions for the likeness of Cyberpunk 2049 to be used, but supposedly Tesla just basically said fuck it and decided to do it anyways. Um, for a promo that came out October 10th during a live streamed event at Warner Brothers in California. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about this, Alex?
It shocks me not at all that Elon or anybody would do some dumb crap about this. Somebody just threw something in about Elon for the end of the show. Yep, stick around, chat. We'll get that to that at the end of the show. I will add that. Elon strikes me as the type of guy who would be like, I don't want to pay artists,
Mm.
right? Like he strikes me as that kind of guy. Um, like most litigation, I'm sure it will get settled out of court for some undisclosed amount of money that Warner Brothers and Tesla will pay them to make them go away.
Now, here's a very interesting concept. Is this a marketing Nike ploy?
How do you mean?
Nike, okay. We all know them, the shoe company. When Nike was first trying to get some traction, some real traction, this is an amazing story. At the time, basketball players, they couldn't wear anything besides white.
Oh, yeah. Where
And
they've
Nike,
intentionally violated the rules and Nike would pay the fines for them
yep,
if they wore the shoes anyway.
yep.
Yes.
So is that this? So is this where Elon went into it going, oh, we're going to get in trouble. Let's bank on the fact that we're going to settle outside of court. But this is going to generate a lot of press. This is going to get people talking about it. Um, Aside from, Elon trying to push it himself. But is this like a, 5D chess game marketing ploy by Elon where he said, fuck it, I can throw money at it. Let's generate some free press. Well, not free. Let's generate some expensive press. I don't know.
So, as an example, um, this is the original scene from Blade Runner 2049, and this is the image from the Tesla Robotaxi event. Um, Again, it's going to get settled, but it doesn't surprise me that Elon would use AI and steal other people's crap to advertise his stuff. And let's not forget, Elon's never actually founded anything. Okay, this is the thing that gets me about, and we'll talk about this because somebody brought this up at the end of the show. Elon's never founded crap. Elon doesn't create anything, right? I think we talked about this a little bit last week in the Elon like what the hell section, right? Which is no, it doesn't shock me. It's just that guy's just he's just a dick. I mean,
But again, to be positive, right? Sometimes, no, think about it. Think back to the comic books that we love and the animes that we love and the even the hologram performers that we love. There has to be a dick somewhere in all of that, right? If there were no dicks, there would be no Kingpin for Spider-Man to fight. There would be no, I don't know,
Lex Luthor. And again,
Lex Luthor. Like,
everybody wants Elon to be Tony Stark,
no,
and he's Lex Luthor.
he is. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
can't even make this stuff up anymore. Um, Again, they'll settle it out of court. This is not Elon's only legal problem. Again, we'll talk about it as we get closer to the end of the show, because it's all kind of funny. Like from Pods, I mean, it's hilarious. Like how silly this shit has become in recent days. Like it's
And
It's something.
maybe that's the thing. Maybe like having legal issues is the new hot thing to do. I mean, look at our election. We have a convicted president running for to be president again. A lot of people are supporting him, so maybe it's the new cool thing to have to
To
be
just get
buried
sued a whole
in.
bunch.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's great. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, he's a goof.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else do we got?
I don't know. What are some of your topics?
Well, we've gotten through most of mine for the day. Uh,
Ah.
do we want to talk? Well, let's talk about this anime one because you tossed this one into the rundown about the anime industry,
Oh
and
gosh,
I think
another happy topic.
I hit. Well, again, I said generally positive, not that we had to be shills or goofballs. Um,
Yeah.
so let's talk about this. So, Jay, break down for me what you're talking about on this anime topic you wrote into our rundown today.
Yeah, so there was a news story that kind of caught my eye. It's the anime industry. I'm not sure if you guys follow that, if you guys know what anime is. Kidding. Um Japan announced profits over $20 billion just last year with anime. But the UN, the United Nations, published a
Oh,
report
that's right.
about how the whole anime industry could collapse. And of course, this kind of grabbed my attention. Like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Is it clickbait? Why is it asking me to download things? Why won't my computer turn on now? Stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Um, but so yeah, despite all the profits, supposedly in this report, the UN found that the majority of animators in Japan makes about $10,000 USD every year, and a lot of them are actually freelancers or independent contractors. A lot of this stuff, supposedly, people aren't even getting paid for it because they're trying to get their name put out there. Um, so it's a very interesting concept where you have such an increase of people watching anime. I remember when I was a kid, like watching anime was not cool.
Oh no, definitely
Um,
not.
you had to be kind of either A, very selective of who you told, or B, just don't tell anyone. But now it is 100% cool. Um, and yeah, we're in this anime boom. There's money's being made everywhere except for actually the animated or the animation artists, which is very interesting to me because I love drawing. I loved kind of doing my own art. This is insane to me. I actually looked at like how to become a comic book artist, not anime, but like a comic book artist and work for a place like Marvel recently. Um, and you need to get like kind of the best pathway to it, it seems, is that you get a bachelor's in fine arts, you go to an established school. um there's no guarantee, but the schools often, kind of partner with DC and Marvel, and you have like a high likely chance of like maybe doing some work for them. Anyways, what I found though was insane.
Hmm.
So the cost to go to the school was $150,000. To put that in perspective, I went to school for electrical engineering. I my degree cost me 50,000. So it's three times the degree,
Hmm.
three times the cost of the degree, right? And then I looked at like the average salary for a Marvel comic book artist, which is 60,000.
Hmm.
So you are spending three times as much to get this degree with not a guarantee that you're going to find a job. And then you're going to make almost half of what an engineer makes. It's insane. It's crazy to me. And it's sad.
It is. Um, so to kind of button hook around because somebody in the chat's like big yikes. It's worse than you think. This specifically is the UN Council on Human Rights,
Mm.
right? From the General Assembly of the United Nations. Um, they did a report that they visited Japan from 24 July to 4 August 2023. However, they are concerned about the significant difficulties observed in addressing deeply embedded harmful gender and social norms, particularly evident in the workplace discrimination and harassment experienced by women, indigenous people, Baraku people, persons with disabilities, migrant workers, and LGBTQI plus workers. Furthermore, yes, they talk about how they've grown to 20 billion USD a year, but like, and again, we actually talked about this a little bit in the Hatsune Miku thingy about Japanese pop stars and how they just churn them out, churn, and they specifically talk about the idols, right? These Japanese pop stars routinely sign contracts that don't protect their intellectual property rights, that don't pay them anything. Reports of low pay, harsh deadlines, rough environments. It's ugly. I wish I could say I was surprised.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I was surprised. Do I think this is going to have any impact on the anime industry writ large? No, because I don't think most fans pay attention to stuff like this, honestly.
No.
Right? Most fans are just waiting for that next season of blank, right? They're waiting for the next Ghibli movie. They're waiting for whatever. And
It's like I think that's a whole point of anime, right? Is that you want to escape real life. You want to be taken into a world where you don't have to like really worry about your own like personal problems or like the world's problems, and you're put into, I don't know, a world where there's all these amazing characters, and yes, they have problems, but they're not your problems, and you escape that. You don't want to hear about how the anime industry is like destroying lives or whatever. Like, no, like that's your escape. Like, why would you want to hear about it?
yeah, you don't want to hear about what goes into making the things that you love. And I've done this topic on a lot of different
Oh
shows that
no,
I've been on, which is the, like, where do you separate the art from the artist? Where do you separate the art from
Alex, I
how it's made?
cannot hear you.
Oh
I'm not sure
no.
if our fans can hear you.
Can you guys hear me on the thingy? Let's find out. Oh no. I should be here. Hang on a sec. I think that's over on your thing. Okay, chat's saying they can hear me. Jay, you keep talking. Let's see if they can hear you.
Oh, it's just me. Awesome.
Oh, it was just Jay. He can hear both of us.
Oh, cool.
So something on your side.
What is Alex saying now?
I am saying
Is
Jay.
Alex talking about how much he loves like Hello Kitty anime? Because he talks about that a lot.
So, yeah. You should be able to hear me. Everyone should hear me. I think something's happening on Jay's side, so we'll give it a minute and see if he does that. And then we'll try and keep going here in a minute. What about the button on your headphones not saying you have a history? No, it's I don't use that for this. It's, and again, you guys wouldn't be able to hear me either. Um it's just a thing. This is what happens when you do live broadcasting. Is occasionally things go sideways. They really do. While we're waiting, there's a couple of things. This happens to him at work too. Apparently this happens to Jay at his office.
Oh no, it doesn't.
I can't tell if he's hearing me or if he's watching the chat. I think he's watching the chat. So I still don't think he can hear me. So yeah, this is the fun of doing live broadcast work. Is occasionally it goes completely sideways. And you just don't know why. And I don't have like a huge production crew to be like, let us fix it. Yay! Because it's me with a little mini board and the stuff that I have. But again, not on my side because you guys can hear it.
Are you talking about your mini board again? What are you talking about?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
He fixed it.
yeah, my mixer froze.
All right. Your mixer froze. So we're good again. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not surprised by this whole anime thingy. It's really shitty. And um, I wish there was more that could be done. But again, I don't think most fans pay attention. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, um, Jay is my new co-host. Jay did the After Dark event with us at the store, Ish Natal. So if you were at the store for our After Dark event, Jay was there for that. With folks, but who are we all? So Jay's there, and so Jay and I had gotten to talking a while back, and I was coming out of kind of store and other creative stuff, and I was just burnt creatively. This kind of content I really enjoy doing. I love doing the show. I did it with Mal, I've done it with Michael. Many of you see me do shows over the years of this type. I love the talk show format. I think it's a lot of fun. It's why I like owning a store. I like chatting with you guys at the store about random nerd shit. I wanted to mix in more politics and stuff, so I'm stepping away from a lot of other creative endeavors, and we're doing this. And Jay's my new co-host, and so this is episode 2. So we'll be doing this as a weekly show, unless we start really making money, and then we'll kick it up a notch. Unless Jay wants to work at the place that Jay wants to work at for the rest of Jay's life.
Again, a happy show, so I love everything about my life, and I would never change any of it.
Exactly. Okay, moving on. Let's go to this chat topic right here. Oh my god. And part of this broke today, right? Is that Elon, our buddy Elon, who we talked about earlier in the show, he's been paying folks to sign a petition to do like First and Second Amendment stuff and register to vote. And then he's been giving $1 million away a day to people.
What? I can get paid? What do I have to do?
Sign his goofy petition and register to vote in Pennsylvania. It only applies to people in swing states, not us. So we're screwed. But today, the DOJ sent Elon a lovely letter. Lovely letter saying, hey, by the way, you can't pay people to register or vote, right? You're not allowed to do that. So he's been doing this for a few days now. The DOJ sent him a letter today stating that you can't do that because it's kind of against the law.
Yeah.
So what's more funny, though, and this is what I want to show you guys, and this was going viral yesterday, our VP candidate, Tim Walz, in reference to our good buddy Elon, Jay, you may or may not be able to hear this, but the chat will, had some choice words for Elon.
Well, look, I'm not going to waste all the time I'm in. I'm going to talk about his running mate.
Yep. And he's talking to his running mate, not J.D. Vance, but Elon.
His running mate, Elon Musk. Seriously. Where is Senator Vance after he got asked the simplest question in the world at the debate? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? And after 2 weeks, he finally said, no, he didn't. That's where he's been spending his time. But that's it. So, look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things. You know.
So my favorite thing is, anybody who's known me for a long time knows that dipshit is one of my favorite gender-neutral insults. And so the fact that our VP used my favorite gender-neutral insult and called Elon a dipshit at a rally, and so this is, I got this feeling that the consultants were kind of holding Walz back because he was the one that coined the whole Republicans are weird thing, and he was running with that, and then they kind of reeled him back in, and it looks like they're like, all right, it's the last 2 weeks. Go ahead. And so he's like, you know,
crazy.
Elon's a dipshit. You know, and I'm like, yeah, Elon's kind of a dipshit. He's trying to pay people to vote. I don't, and it's funny because people were talking about some of the tweets that they unearthed from like 2022, where he was like, Trump shouldn't run again. He's too old. Like, don't do it. Da 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 da. And I don't know what happened with Elon, because he was a darling of the liberal intelligentsia, right? The funny thing is the people who were buying his cars and buying his stuff were the freaking liberals. It wasn't rural conservatives from Iowa buying Tesla Model 3s.
Mm.
You know, I don't know what happened to Elon that made him radicalize in this way. I have no idea.
What is that saying? You either die a hero or you live long enough to become a dipshit. What is that?
Dipshit. Yeah, I think that
I don't know.
We need to we need to send that over to the Harris Walls campaign.
Oh my god. I mean, it is definitely funny. But God, our politics have just turned into a kangaroo court.
I I'm trying to figure out what's going on. That's my thing. Is I don't understand. Like legit, like I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get what's happening.
Maybe it is like maybe we do all live in a matrix and they're just like having some fun right now. You know, they're just like, will this work? Let's throw this in there.
I honestly don't know. Somebody's saying they got auto modded in the chat. Okay, I'll allow that one through. There you go. Didn't think the dipshits would eat my face, says chat. Person who votes for leopard face eating party goes, oh, I didn't think the leopards would eat my face. I don't know where we get to the point where, again, Elon's doing these weird X jumps. By the way, have you heard the theory about why he's doing those weird jumps on stage? Is he's making an X, right?
No.
And this has been his thing for a while. Is he's always wanted to call, like he wanted to call PayPal X. And the people over at PayPal, when he was part of PayPal, were like, no, that's stupid. You know, and now he owns Twitter, so he just turned Twitter into X, which I refuse to call X. It's still fucking Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. Right? Is he doing his best Tom Cruise cosplay? Maybe.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Maybe. I mean, he hasn't talked about Thetans yet, or becoming clear, or claimed that only he can fix it. So, but I don't know what happened. I really don't. Like, he lost his mind.
Yeah. I'm like actually really I'm really intrigued with this whole X thing all of a sudden now, because one of his he named one of his kids like that XAEAXI. I don't know how to pronounce that. The the
Yeah. Yeah. He's got some weird obsession with it.
so weird.
You know,
But I don't know. We all have our things. You know, I like to collect comic books. So
Elon's he's thrown down, like he started 2 packs. He recently trademarked America Incorporated.
what?
Yeah, or something like that. United States of America Incorporated. He's dude, it's become weird.
Again,
And I don't know why.
we have to stay positive, Alex. This is great. This is all great. We should all support him. Let's rally behind him, because the more successful this guy is, the closer we get to 2 things. 1, a real life Death Star, which then will give spawn to the X-Wing, hopefully. I know it doesn't work like from a mechanical engineering, air draft point of view, but we can make it work. And then also giant robots, Gundams. Again, not the smartest way to use your planet's resources, but I guarantee you it will happen. We just have to support this crazy man.
My fear is we're not going to be, it's not going to be Mobile Suit Gundam. We're going to end up in Evangelion. because God is gonna try and smite the earth with giant malformed fucking angels. He's gonna be like, nope, you guys are done. I give up. I give up. I give up. And so then we're gonna have to build Avas piloted by small children. Chad is saying apparently the child's name is X Ash A12.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah,
Buddy.
yeah. Evangelion, living in that world would be bad. I loved that anime as well.
And it all comes
not.
back. We've had a heavy anime show today. I
Oh, we
love
did.
it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm glad the DOJ got off their butts and got this one moving quickly, and sent a cease and desist, like, yo, dude, stop breaking the law. So thanks, Merrick Garland, for not waiting 3 years to do something about this. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's other stuff that's breaking right now in regards to the campaign and other stuff. We might talk about that next week. Because again, we're going to do more politics on this show. But yeah, so Elon's doing goofy shit, and according to Tim Walz, he's a giant dipshit, which I don't disagree. I love Tim Walz, so thank you for that. All right, Chad, if you've got any other questions or topics you'd like for us to talk about today, please feel free to drop them in there right now.
Drop him in.
Yeah.
Drop him in. Maybe you're wondering who Jay is. I don't know. We
yeah.
can talk about it.
Let's see here. We got all this stuff here. I'm just going back through our little rundown document. Yeah. Next week, we'll discuss the election. I actually have some positive things to say.
Nice.
So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to give you our final kind of like before the election. We're less than 2 weeks away. Next week, we will be less than a week away. I'm going to give you my Jay and I will both give you kind of our final predictions about where we think this is going to land. And specifically, I kind of want to talk about what we think is going to happen in the aftermath. There's been a lot of discussion about that lately. Like, okay, so let's say Kamala wins. What happens? Right? Like, how does this play out? And I think I've got some, what I consider to be generally positive news on that front. Chat's telling me Boeing voted on a new contract today and it was rejected.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
64% against, 35% raise, $7,000 ratification bonus, 401k increase, 401k increase, 35% over 4 years. That's not enough. It's not.
Gosh. Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to do better than that.
Yeah.
Like seriously, they're gonna have to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, probably they were voting at the Angel of the Winds arena today about that. Boeing reported a $6 billion quarterly loss, too. The strike is costing the company about $1 billion a month. It's $1 billion a month. Come on, Boeing. How much did you spend on stock buybacks? You can do it. Just get it done. Look what happened with the whatchamacallits, with the longshoremen. They got that one done quick. You know. Again, there may be some new election news in the next couple of days.
Yeah. And honestly, this is America. No matter what happens, we're all going to be okay. It's going to be fine. This is a positive show again. I'm sure you all will be perfectly safe and sound. I will not be in the country. That's not related.
Yeah, Jay is actually leaving the country. So next week will be Jay's last show before he leaves the country, and I have to have a guest host on here for a couple of weeks. Let me know, by the way, we're going to probably put a poll in the community tab, and I'll ask around. Let me know if you want us to do some election day coverage, and I might do that. I might. So, with that, for those of you that stuck for the whole show, thank you very much. And I think that's what we're going to probably call it tonight. But thank you for joining us on episode 2 of the Error Code Show. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So please do that. For those of you that know us, you're going to probably see some Twitter stuff come up, and you'll definitely see an invite to our Discord server. Will get populated this week. I want to do like a little welcome message in there, but the Discord server does exist. Like, it's been built. Jay is in there. I am in there. We have some channels to talk about things. You know,
It's so exciting, just the two of us in here.
it's so we're gonna get some invites out to folks to get in there, and then we'll go from there. Again, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.